Hey, good evening, everyone. We have Bobbie here again for the caregiver tip for the dementia. So we're gonna today, Bobbie is in the room, so she's somehow in the other room. So we want to make sure today is gonna be smoothly to record today. So just in case is any interruption, so being expected, like you have a dementia caregiver, you have expecting that condition sometimes. So today we're
I
gonna talk
think
about interesting parties, the best time. So Bobbie, hurry up.
we're going to talk today about bath time.
Mhm.
Bath time can be as simple as you want it to be, or it can be difficult, depending on how you approach it. Now, like most children, they don't want to get in the water, but once they get in, they don't want to get out. And it's generally the same way with a person with dementia. They might fight you. They may decide that they want to be stubborn. They'll plant their feet and not want to move. You say bath, and they just want to run. Try to make it interesting. If necessary, play some soft music. That old saying about music soothes the savage beast, it works. So when they're being rebellious, play some soft music while you're getting them ready. One of the things I like to do is after I've gotten them off the commode and gotten them up to get in the shower, I put the top down and I put a towel there, because when you get ready to get them out, sometimes they don't want to stand. They can get a little tired after standing in the shower. So let them sit down on the towel to dry off. The main thing is, though, watching them carefully while they're in the shower or in the tub, especially in the tub, because you're talking about a lot of water sitting in that tub. I try to do the shower because, again, once I get her in the shower, she's a happy camper. She doesn't want to get, I have to just reach in and turn the water off. So, um, if you're using a tub, be careful with the amount of water, almost like with a baby. You don't want to put a whole lot of water in that tub because, again, they don't understand and they can drown in just a couple inches of water. So you would have to really be careful and be with them constantly if they're in the tub. In the shower, you can stand outside the shower and keep yourself dry while they're splashing water all over the place. And you can still watch them and see what they're doing. In my case, I will generally nicely say, I have another washcloth. I want to wash your back. I want to let her know what I'm doing because she can't reach her back. And if I do that without letting her know, it startles her and then she's going to get rebellious again. So the best thing to do, let them know what you plan to do. Show them the washcloth. I'm going to touch your back and go ahead and wash their back. Um, Again, letting them rinse off. And if you're washing their hair, please be careful about getting the suds in their eyes because they, like children, they're going to rub their eyes. And once they start rubbing, they're going to be irritated. So be careful with the shampoo in their eyes. If you're going to wash the hair, try to get them to turn around backward to the back to the shower so that the water is running down their back and not in their face. One of the other things, when you're getting them out of the shower, make sure you're holding on to them. Don't think that, oh well, they can hold on and step out on their own. They can easily fall, and the last thing you want is to have them fall, and especially when they're wet, because then it's going to be even harder for you to pick them up. Hold on to them, help them out of the shower, and then if they are able to, hand them the towel and let them dry themselves. Give them as much responsibility as they're able to do. The more you let them do, the better it is because, again, they're trying to remember the things that need to be done. In some cases, she can remember, or I'll have to say, now dry your legs, now dry your feet. I have to explain each step. If you do that, at least that gives them that responsibility. And sometimes that little bit of accomplishment makes a whole lot of difference. They will feel like they've done something. And on top of that, I always applaud her at the end. Great job. You did it. I'm so proud of you. Because if you let them know that, then it's easier the next time around. And if you keep repeating this, then it helps. Now, keep in mind, you do not have to give them a shower every day. You can do sponge baths, especially if they're being very cantankerous or if they're just in a bad mood that day. Just say, okay, and let them sit on the commode while you wet the washcloth and soap it up, and then just bathe them yourself and dry them off. Sometimes she likes that better. It just depends on what mood that they're in that particular day. If they're having a bad day, don't try to force them to get in the shower, because it's only going to cause more of them being obstinate and wanting to be the boss. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to plant my feet. You can't make me do it. So the whole thing, work with them, not against them. That's the best thing I can tell you. When they're not in the mood, don't force them to do anything, because that's only going to make it harder on you as the caregiver. You're already tired. You're already, wearing yourself out. Don't make, well, they say, pick your battles. Don't make it harder. So if they don't want to get in the shower, don't make them do it. You can easily just do the sponge bath, wash them up, and then maybe that night, give them a shower that night before they go to bed. But whatever you do, don't make bath time a chore. Make it fun. And just like with a child, if you have to give them some type of toy,
Yeah, I was
then
going
give
to
it to
say
them.
that.
Yeah. If you have to give them some type of toy, a little rubber ducky or
Yeah,
whatever.
Labradaki. That's what I'm trying to say. I always give my son Labradaki. He's so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever, yeah, think of it as maybe that 5-year-old that didn't want to get in the bath because he was dirty and he wanted to keep the dirt on him. Give him that rubber ducky and he'll be happy. So do the same thing with the person with dementia. They are going back and they're reverting back to childhood days, things that they remember from the past. And that rubber ducky may bring back some good memories. So if you think about it, get them some type of toy or anything that's waterproof that you can give them and let them play with while they're in the shower. And if you have to actually get in the shower with them, and I've had to do that, I put on a swimsuit or a pair of shorts or
Right,
whatever
definitely.
and get in the shower with them and have to bathe them, then you do that. You do whatever you have to do to make your life easier. Don't make it complicated. Don't make it so hard that then you're not going to want to do it. But just think of all the different little tricks that you would do if they were a child. Think about that. And I don't know about, but my mom used to get in the tub with us girls. She'd get in the tub with us. And so if you have to get in the shower with them, don't think that's an invasion of privacy or anything. They won't. They probably would even like the idea that you're in there with them. But I know there have been days when I had to, because I had no other choice, because I really had to clean up the mess that was made. So I had to get in there with them. But that's my tip for the day, is just make it fun. Do not make it complicated or hard, because then you're going to wear yourself out. And as a caregiver, you've got to take care of yourself. Like that old saying, you have to put that mask on for oxygen in the airplane yourself before you can help anyone else. So take care of yourself as the caregiver, make things fun and easy, and don't work yourself to death.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking about the best time. You have been so many different clients before. So did anyone give you a hard time? Can you recall?
Oh, I've had some hard times, especially one I have now. And another thing, try to do the same time each day. Excuse me.
Okay,
The
bless
reason
you.
being, thank you. The reason being, it's getting them into that rhythm and into that habit. So if you get up in the morning and you take your shower at 7 o'clock and get dressed, then maybe you have 8 o'clock set for them. Because you want to get yourself ready before you get them ready. Because once they're up, it's almost impossible for yourself to get dressed. You're constantly worrying about what they're doing while you're in the bathroom, and you don't want to do that. So get yourself ready and then get them ready. So if 8 o'clock is a good time in the morning, then try to keep 8 o'clock each day. Now sometimes that's not going to work, because if they're sleepy and they don't want to get up, don't fight with them. Let them sleep another 20 minutes and then say, okay, now it's time to get up. We got to get in the shower. But don't try to reason with someone with dementia, because it doesn't work. They don't understand the reasoning. Just tell them this is what needs to be done, and ask them in a nice way, because please and thank you go a long way with people with dementia. So if you say, would you please get in the shower for me? I really appreciate it. And that works for me, mainly because she had been an authoritative figure in her career, and she was used to giving the orders. So I cannot give her a demand. If I give her an order, she's not going to do it. So in her case, I have to ask, and I have to ask in a nice way. And generally, she will comply. So it depends on the patient and what their life experience had been. If they had been in a role where they were the superior, where they were the boss, and they're used to giving the directions, then you may want to step back and not say, okay, you have to take a shower, because that's probably not going to work. Will you please take the shower for me? Will you please get in the shower? Come on, let's go to the bathroom. I really appreciate it. Excuse you have to use logic when you're talking to them, and a soft tone. They don't understand loud noises, so yelling is not going to get it accomplished. So when you get frustrated, the best thing to do is stop. And I use that word stop a lot. Just stop what you're doing and give it a rest for a few minutes, and then start again afresh. Because if you're still frustrated and angry and upset, you're going to yell, and that's only going to make it worse. You cannot yell at people with dementia. It doesn't work. You have to have that soft voice. You have to have a steady voice so that they know that you still mean business, but you've got to be in control. That's the best way I can put it. Be in control.
You know, when we go to this couple series, I feel like we're being like teaching a kindergarten.
Well, a thing about it is, there's a difference between people with dementia and those who have Alzheimer's. With the ones with Alzheimer's, they don't know anything. They don't remember anything. So you can just about do anything without any obstacles or any problems. But with dementia, they still have some of their faculties, and they have those moments where they can remember things. And if you just happen to hit that moment and you do something that they don't like, you're only going to hurt yourself. So the best thing to do is always keep everything on the same keel, still keep working with them, but be patient with them. And that big word, stop. Stop whatever you're doing if you're getting frustrated, and take a breather and then come back.
Interesting. So for the best time, you mentioned about being have fun and being, but sometimes is if you have just dealing with a regular, dementia patient, if they have any difficulty like physical, have any kind of patient like that before?
Now, I had one that I had to actually use a lift to get her out the bed and get her moved because she was too heavy for me to pick up. The only problem was that it was an older house and the doorways were too small. So I could get her in the lift to get her up out the bed and move her around in the room, but I couldn't get the lift through the door. So it still made it hard to try to get her to the bathroom and into the shower. She was a heavier woman, so it was, the lift, we actually had the lift brought in. Medicare brought the lift in for us to use, but it wasn't any good to me as outside the room because I couldn't get it through the door. Older houses, the doorways are so small.
Yes, I know.
The newer houses, you have enough room to be able to get it through. But sometimes you will have to use whatever's available. I had an office chair. So what I would do, I would get her in the lift to get her up out the bed, then get her in the office chair, and then wheel the office chair to the bathroom. So you have to improvise.
Yes,
to
I
do
do that
whatever.
sometimes, like I'm moving a TV or something. Yeah, office chair is really good.
An old office chair. Go to use furniture store or Goodwill and get an old office chair. Those wheels will roll across anything, carpet, wood. Just put them in that chair and roll them to wherever you need them to go, and that works. And especially if you are a small caregiver and your patient is larger, because you can hurt your back, you can hurt yourself trying to lift, and I knew I couldn't lift her because she was much bigger and I could easily ruin my back. So the lift came in handy, but I had to use the lift to get her to the chair and then get her in the chair to the bathroom. So It just depends. You work around whatever the obstacle is. You can work it out. And one thing about caregivers, we are very we have ingenuity. We can think of anything. I think of
Right.
the show that used to be on called MacGyver, where he could use anything to make something happen. Well, we can make things happen out of a little bit of anything.
Yeah, because I've been caregiver for 1 years, and the best was my only job. I need to do is, and it's just, it's just like, it's not just like a regular shower yourself. It's more like it's a lot of work. It's
It's
not
a lot of
just,
work.
it's a
Yeah,
lot of
it's a
work.
lot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I just want to ask you, it's kind of, have you ever taken care of a male patient or just only female?
Well, the lady I was telling you about that I used to lift, I
Mm-hmm.
had her and her husband. Even though I was paid just to
Oh.
take care of her, she still had her husband was still alive. So I took care as far as I could shave him.
Mm-hmm.
I could if I fed him when I fed her and all, but I it wasn't my job to really take care. And he was able to really, I mean, he got in the shower and did things and stuff because he didn't have Alzheimer's or
Okay.
dementia. But because he was in the house, it was easier to take care of both of them. And sometimes, like I said, he didn't have it. Really wasn't ALS, but his hand would shake, and I was
Oh.
afraid. I was afraid for him to try to shave himself, so
Uh-huh.
I would shave him. But other than that, no. All of my clients have all been female.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Mhm.
My client's a male, so I had to shake him too. Sometimes I had to cut him. Well,
Oh
so
no,
and
no.
they were just, "Are you ready?"
Yeah. Well, like I
Just
said.
like I'm not really trained for that, but it's just kind of hand out for
Hmm.
the job. Feel like but it's kind of completely different. But I think best time is a really interesting topic. And how can you overcome when your client doesn't want to get a shower at all?
Oh, that's what I said. That's when I do the sponge bath.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, the way I do it, I have her sitting on the toilet,
Mm-hmm.
and I start bathing her because I'll go ahead and take her clothes off. She can be fighting, but I'll still take the clothes off,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's her pajamas or nightgown, and I'll start bathing her while she's sitting. Now, where I shock her is that I grab under her arm with the crook of my arm, and I just stand her up real quick. And I already have the washcloth ready to wash her bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, that's where the fight comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But if you the element of surprise, and that's what I call it. She's not expecting me to stand her up that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So if I just lock my arm under hers, pull her up real quick, and use the other hand to wash her,
Mm-hmm.
it's done before she even realizes what happened. So
Mm-hmm.
I've had to do that several times where she's you're not washing me. Yes, ma'am, you're getting washed. And then again, as I mentioned, if you can't do it in the morning, then
Mm-hmm.
do it that evening.
Right.
If you have to change the bath time to that evening, and I've
Mm-hmm.
had to do that a couple times, mainly when I'm trying to get her to daycare, I have a time frame to
Mm-hmm.
get her there. I'll just do the sponge bath, take her there, and then I'll give her a shower that night.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if she has soiled herself and all, then I really definitely have to give her a full shower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I think bedtime is really something a lot of people struggle, and and sometimes
Hmm.
it just it had to be like you said, a technique. You had to really use it.
Yeah. Well, at nighttime, you've worked with them all day. You're tired, and the last
Mm-hmm.
thing you really want to do is give them a bath or a shower.
Mm-hmm.
So you reserve the nighttime for when all else fails. Now
Mm-hmm.
you hear some people say that's the best time so that the warm water helps put them to sleep. That doesn't work in my case because that water wakes her up because she wants to play. So she's wide awake. So I don't do nighttime, not unless I actually have to,
Mm-hmm.
but I would rather do in the mornings, and that way it helps wake her up.
Mm-hmm.
She's active, she's playing, and that way I know she's wide awake. She's ready to get her breakfast and get dressed and get ready to go to daycare.
Okay.
If I were to give her the toy to play with at night,
Mm-hmm.
no, we'd be up the rest of the night. So no, that wouldn't work.
Mm. Okay, thank you so much, Bobbie, for the best time topic, and we'll see you
You're
next
welcome.
time.
All
Thank
right,
you. You
take
have a good
care.
long weekend holiday. Bye
All
bye.
right,
Bye
thanks. Bye bye.
bye.